Good afternoon, Kohler fans. I have myself here. Let's see, K341. No, 32001. Sorry. K241 is 10 horse. K301 is 12 horse. That's this one. Okay. K301 12, K321 14, and then K341 16. Then you go to the K381, which is the overhead valve 18. Alright, this is no girl out of a 124 Cadet, narrow frame. He said he wiped the engine out. Well, if you take a close look, there's a nice shine there, isn't there? See all the black around there? Yeah, where it's black on the head gasket, too. That was not sealing. Exhaust was flowing out of there. Another thing that happens is very common that some of you would be familiar with is this bolt hole here. That's why the screwdriver's there. This one tends to get, well, rusted, carboned in there. This one was very tight. Had to run it back and forth a few times, and then it spun out. There have been times where these things twist off. With some engines over here, they'll have a stud, and that makes it even worse. But in this case, everything was all right. See the valve black? Fuel's coming in rich and going out overheated. Why was it going out overheated? See this? Yeah. You know where that was? Yeah, I should have left this out. That was in here. This is the baffle going around the cylinder here. That was totally plugged. No, we're not done yet. No. Here's the cylinder head. Unretouched on the flywheel side. You like that? Unretouched? Completely plugged. So it didn't matter what happened, the head was getting hot. Well, also, the cylinder got hot. A lot of stuff's going to get soaked in that bucket. I don't have the best soaking system in the world, but I have one that does seem to work quite well. Well, anyway, I figured I'd show you some of you folks that. You see the carbon that's out there, the black and the oil slick that's there. I'm sure there's an oil slick down in here. And on top of that, you see the pistons washed, carbon here and washed there. That means oil's been coming right up through there. Why? Because it's burns heat and blow by around here. Pistons most likely out around. Well, I got to clean things up and see if that puppy is oversized or not. I don't think so. I do believe it's original, but yeah, isn't that special? Well, I thought I'd show you that from way back. The other problem that these engines often have that causes this problem is the carbon, the overheating, the plugged cylinders. Well, you see the shiny oil here. Thing's been pumping oil out, then it collects dirt and plugs the fins. These two lower screws here were very loose. In fact, this one was ready to come out. I'm sorry, air cleaner screws. And then this top one here, that was just snug. So there's another problem. Everything seems to be tight otherwise. And yes, screen's clean. But it doesn't matter if the screen is clean or not when you got all this stuff in here. Now, the original valves cannot be ground. I repeat, the original exhaust valve on this series of engine cannot be ground. And I mean the K series, complete, all the way through. Because the valves are stellite faced. They cannot be ground and put back into service. They did that a couple times at a dealer I worked at years ago, 1982 I believe, right around there, 81 to 82. Ground a couple valves. They did not make it to the end of the season and they cooked. The problem with the Kohler is that there's high compression compared to most other flatheads. So this thing pops and snorts and puts out some pretty good heat. And if it just, there is a seat insert here. I don't believe there's a seat insert there. And I'm pretty sure I have the stuff to put a seat insert in if it needs it. But most times they don't. Anyway, yeah, if I ever had to take that out, that would be a treat, wouldn't it? We used to take a few out and I had to hacksaw them out. Right through into the threads. Yeah, you can go into the threads a little distance, but not very far. Just figured I'd, look at that chunk. Point that out to you folks. Now, the other thing you need here, yep, there's another black area. This whole area through here is known. Black from here, down through and up to here. That's heat. As it burns, comes out the exhaust valve. It's a heat concentration area. and for some reason the gasket didn't completely blow out. But 1, 2, 3 bolts were loose, meaning this one was also. What happens is that aluminum expands and contracts, and when it overheats, it seriously expands and seriously contracts, and then it takes that gasket and crushes it. So there's another problem for you folks out there. Yeah, the head can be resurfaced. I have a platen sander, but if you have a piece of steel that's probably, I'm going to say 12 inches wide or 12 inches long minimum, but you're better off with a piece that's probably in the neighborhood of 8 inches. Yeah, it would be better to go 8 by 12, and then you could run the head back and forth, and you'd have enough room to do a figure 8 on it. Turn it. You turn it for all 4 sides. That's one of the reasons you want to have at least 8 inches. But my platen sander over there, I'll be able to fire that up and gently run it on there. Yes, all 4 sides and carefully. Well, that's what yeah, you Cub Cadet guys know the fun's going to be here. Anyway, you have a good day. This is Pops in the cold next to the heat. Getting things done.